The day when I had lived by companion planting, and I've done a video like this before, but I just kind of want to show you because I just planted one of my beds, and like I said, I did live by companion planting, but this mistake actually got me to graduate away from it and then really look at it with a fine-tooth comb and think maybe it's just not the right way to go. I literally just finished planting this bed, and then it almost mirrors this bed to an extent. Neither one of them are companion planted. This one is even more so considered combative planting, okay? So let me show you, and if you're new to the channel, then you don't know what's in the bed. So let me go over real quick what's in each bed and then the differences, and then we'll get into really why it's an issue. So this bed is tomatoes and peppers, plain and simple. And now this bed is also tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and then husk tomatoes down at the end. All of those are nightshades. And when I first started planting like this, I thought, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I misread it, and I said, oh, okay, companion planting, this is absolutely what I gotta do. There's no questions asked. I'm companion planting all the way. It's gonna make everything so much easier. But it made it a lot harder. So I was getting really confused, and I was having a really difficult time planting out all of the beds around me. Just, I could not figure out what was going on. And I would be like, okay, everything's lined up, but this plant. Okay, well, I can't put this plant in. So I kind of got like analysis paralysis. It was really bad. So we moved away from it. But I had planted a bed just like this, and it grew the best that I had ever seen. And when I went back to look at it, it was a combative planting, and I'm like, well, what the hell is that? Essentially, a combative planting is when both types of plants use, there's something very similar amongst them. So for instance, these nightshades, they all use the same fertilizers, the same nutritional needs. They don't really help each other necessarily on paper. That's key, on paper. Anyway, like one doesn't provide shade for another or give it some place to climb or something like that. It's like you commonly hear like the three sisters planting corn, beans, and squash. And I know a lot of people do that, but when you start really looking into it, it's not really any kind of like overwhelming companion situation. You know what I mean? So the reason why this works so good, well, actually, before we do that, let me show you why the other bed is so bad. By the books, this one would be even worse because we've thrown in an eggplant, and then on top of that, another variety of the husk tomatoes, which they get, they're not really nightshades. They are and they aren't, from what I understand. So it just kind of complicates it a little bit more. But this bed just makes it even more magnified. So at this point, you're probably thinking, well, why the hell are you even planting like this then if it's so bad? Well, it's pretty simple. They all need the same nutritional requirements. So I don't have to manage anything special. I don't have to second guess anything, right? I can put the fertilizer down and I can run it the way it is. Not only that, but then when it comes, and this is really important, when it comes into a crop rotation, which I do absolutely practice, it makes it so much easier. So if you look around the whole garden, this bed is a nightshade, this bed is nightshades, and then this potato bed is a nightshade as well. So for the next year, I cannot plant any of these three beds in this area. Any nightshades, any of these plants in these three areas. I can put them anywhere else, but I can't put them here. Now imagine if you were doing it and you had tomatoes, and I'm so bad with my companion plantings because I don't follow it now. I think it's tomatoes and lettuce, right? And then your potatoes and something else. I'm not even going to try anymore. And you start putting it all together. Well, then when you want to rotate to the next year, you can't put your lettuce or your tomatoes in the same bed. You can't change anything up if you want to or anything like that. No, I just went on here not too long ago and discussed my plant groupings that I have that don't really change, and I do live by those. And if you do that and you live by that, that's fine. But we also have to look at this and to take this into account. So brassicas, cabbage and broccoli, big no-no, right? I mean, you tell me, is that a big no-no? You know, I mean, it's growing, it's doing its thing, but the thing is if you were to separate these and do a companion planting and get away from the combative planting portion of it, and you start spreading these things out in the garden, your crop rotation schedule can get very complicated quick, because if you go by that, you shouldn't have any kind of brassica in the same bed together or in the bed that it was in last year, if you think about that. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like if there's broccoli in another crop here, and then there's cabbage in another crop here, then this bed, anything that's in this bed or in the family of this bed can't go over to this bed. And so then you start going cattywampus and catty corner and all that. It gets really confusing really fast. So I stuck to this. It's working really, really well for me. I've been doing it for about 4 years now, and I'm loving it. It's working great. The crop rotation, if you don't rotate your crops and you're like, hey, I've never rotated my crops and it's been fun. Look, it's fine until it's not, and then it's devastating. So just a warning, but you do you. I don't care. I keep mine rotating, just safety's sake, change it up. I don't want my garden to look the same all the time. You know, we want everything to be a little bit different. So the same thing goes with this bed. These two beds here, these are both squash beds. So they're the cucurbit family. So, you know, next year, guess where they're gonna go? Right? Now, the problem that I have this year, because I made the decision to put a tomato bed back here instead of originally going here, it's gonna make it a little bit more complicated for the rotation schedule. But I think what I'll do next year is I'll just take these two beds and I'll just put them right there. 1, 2, right? And then this bed would move forward, and then, you know, we can kind of start over again. This is always going to be the oddball. What would really work best is if we took and we said, hey, we're going to do 2 beds of this, or another bed of nightshades or something like that. So we had them even, but it is what it is. We can't change it. So if your garden's doing this, if you're practicing combative planting in your garden, let us know. Super interesting, and it's super complicated. And there's gonna be a lot of mixed reactions. I can hear the comments coming in now. I can feel them in my bones, and that's quite all right. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all, because this kind of stuff is just something that I kind of fell into. You know, when I accidentally did the combative planting and I looked at it, I remember I was looking at it and I was like, man, I have never seen peppers this absolutely amazing in my life. Never. I had never seen tomato plants grow like that. And then I started doing it year after year, took 1 year off, and it got worse. Then I went, so this year I'm going back to it and I'm sticking with it. If it works out good this year, which I'm pretty sure it is, I'm just gonna stick with it and roll with it. You know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Plain and simple. So also, if you want to join, down below, we have a monthly group that meets, and we kind of have like a syllabus to keep us going. So we're going to be talking about one subject each month, and everybody is there. It's on Teams. It's a video chat. Everybody puts input in so we all can learn from each other. So do that. And I'm thinking about opening up a Patreon to kind of, because everybody's getting confused on how to do it through YouTube. So may open up a Patreon. Any tier you get in this, or if I do Patreon, which will be a link if there is going to be one, then any tier will get you into that. You do not have to be on the most expensive tier. So please remember that. But it is on the second Thursday of the month. So join us if you want to. Let us know if you are doing combative or companion planting, or if you don't even give a crap. Tell us that too. I don't, you know, it's, some people just don't care, and I think that's the way to go too. You just figure it out and plug and play, and eventually though, you will start to go through and see, hey, this didn't work together, this didn't work, and you will start narrowing it down, and it'll get better and better and better.